Okay, I haven't done my these talks for quite a while. So basically, today we talk about it's TI advice, how to develop a colorless mentality. Yeah. Now, when you look at the concept of a colorless society, yeah, a society without colors. Obviously, people are not retarded, and qualia, yeah, the things you see, yeah, um, do have color in them. Yeah, even European people have some kind of color. Yeah, it's kind of reddish, bluish, white color. Um, tricolor. Yeah, but we don't know what color that is. But that's European color. In fact, the European color should be defined as such. There's brown, black, and there's European colors. That's a unique color, but it's a color nonetheless. Yeah, to have a colorless society, no, is by definition flawed because qualia has color. I mean, things have different frequencies of light bouncing off them and hitting your retina. You know what I mean? Yeah. So color does exist in physical reality. And so the best way to achieve a colorless society is to develop a colorless mentality. Yeah. Now, what I mean by this is like uh, there's a famous martial artist that said this, Bruce Lee. Be water, be like water. Water's colorless, you see, and water takes the form of whatever is it's contained in, whatever it needs to be. It's that. Yeah. So this is what a colorless mentality is, and this is what targeted individuals need to develop. Yeah, you need to be water. You know, there is the two colors that we have on the chessboard. Yeah. And remember when Europe was conquered, yeah, by Genghis Khan, yeah. Google it if you don't believe me, if you still believe that Europe was never conquered. Many people have conquered it. From Caesar, anyway, the last time, Genghis Khan, well, actually, second last because then the Ottomans. Uh, yeah, last time anyway, yeah. Genghis Khan, so he used to train his soldiers to play chess. Yeah, chess is a way of looking at life in terms of black and white. Yeah, the concept of black and white in terms of engagement. Yeah, when you engage in situations, it depends on who starts first. Whoever starts first is playing white. So when you merge that with the concept of be water, be colorless, what you're essentially saying, if you find yourself starting first, be black. If you find yourself if you find yourself starting first, be white. If you find yourself starting second, be black. Yeah. So it shouldn't matter to you what color you are um, at any one time. Yeah. But this is obviously uh, uh, in terms of your mentality rather than what we see out here, because your consciousness is an imaginary existence, is an ontological existence that has no color. Because your eye can't look at what your consciousness looks like, can it now? So if your eye can't see what your consciousness looks like, it has no color. Yeah. So you got to be true to your nature, your consciousness, your conscious self. Yeah. Your physical form will have a color, a shade. Yeah. But your conscious self has no color. The Almighty is a colorless form. Because if I was to ask you, for me, the Almighty speaks to me through the synchronicities of life. Like if you, it's a bit like if you um, were to tell where to start moving left, and then a tree moves right, then you move right and it moves left, and then it's like it's a synchronicity, but when you repeat that and you get a response, it's a communication now. But then the consciousness that's communicating with you is not the tree, is what is it? It's a colorless form, the unseen form. Yeah. So the Almighty is a colorless entity. Yeah. And your consciousness is of the same make, is a colorless entity too. So you got to develop a colorless mentality if you're to cope in this world. Yeah. As a targeted individual. Because whatever, if you come into a situation um, and somebody has probably speaking fired the first shots, you're gonna be playing black. So the first thing you gotta do is duck or block it, or So you start in terms of the chess game. You start off um, being black, yeah. So, but then if you go into a situation where nothing's happened yet, and you're the one who's starting something, then you got to play that game. You start off white, yeah. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your skin color is, yeah. It doesn't matter what whether you're playing black or white in your head. It's the Almighty who sets the play, and you just play the part and make it work. So whatever you find yourself, be water, yeah. Whatever you find yourself in, learn to be what you need to be to win. Yeah, I'm gonna elaborate. Bruce Lee never elaborated because it was so complicated in his head. So he expected you to deduce that after discussing it with yourself or others. But learn to be what you need to be to win. Whatever's there is what you use. When an opportunity becomes available, take the ones that are attainable. I said that. um, so hold on, let me get myself an ashtray. In fact, I might as well get myself some. So basically, what I'm saying is being colorless in your mind. Fucking hell, man. Anyway, being colorless in your mind. Yeah, it's you could have seen a stain there. Someone on the other side of this wall has got some kind of direct energy weapon, and I'm trying to investigate that. But it says anyway, that's a different thing. So again, it ties in because you have to be what you need to be to succeed in life, and it's even the same with when you're being perpetrated on. Like if the perpetrator is following your movement, like um, when you start moving and it starts to put obstacles in your way, you're playing white. But if the perpetrator is dominating your life and where he done a piece of street theater and you started to react to it, yeah, so he started first, then you're playing black. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what your skin color is. It depends on what game you need to be at that time, yeah, to make it work. Black and white is not about skin color. It's not really about that. Yeah, I think it was the prophet Jacob that started separating people into white or black in the Bible. I can't remember. Separated all the lighter skin children he had and from the darker skin. I don't know. But it's got nothing to do with your skin color. It's what you need to be. Be that. Be water. Yeah. So once you have a colorless mind, mm, like I do, where whether you're white or black game, yeah, is not really the point. Yeah. You got to know what these games are and apply them as and when you need to. That's all you need to do at this time as well. There's a lot of protesting going on in the world. I don't believe in protesting, mm, but that don't mean that I just sit there doing nothing about it. Yeah. I believe in empowering people, like I'm doing now, empowering your minds to cope better. This is not a racial issue. Yeah. To those of us who have a colorless mind. Yeah. Mm. And if you find yourself like me, being uh, dark skin, or being considered black by those who are observing you, and then obviously you need to be aware of what's happening to people of your kind. Yeah. Mm. And if you're white, the same way too. Yeah. But that shouldn't define you. Obviously, I'm still colorless in my mind. And you meet a situation. I mean, different situations. I mean, being colorless, I get to see what the effects of all this turmoil is doing to people. Yeah, there's some people who become aggressive towards you. There's some people who become afraid of you. Yeah, so people are taken to it in so many different ways. But like I said, colorless liquid here. Yeah, whatever I need to be at the time is what I'll be. You see, it's got nothing to do with the color. The color, because like there is, if you look at the security forces, police included, there's a lot of black people, black skins in that security force, in the army and everything. Yeah. Mm. So they also, at some point, will have to consider their um, existence in terms of how they're being perceived by those who look at them as black. Yeah. So whatever develops and emerges from that is not really my problem. Whatever manifests in my life, that will be my problem. Yeah, if I need to play the white game, I'll play that. If I need to play the black game, I'll play that. Yeah, whatever I need to be at the time is what I'll be. Yeah, to get the victory that I want. Yeah. So this is very crucial information, knowing how to fight. In your mind, yeah, you must always be the white, the white game. In your mind, the Almighty even tells you that you must always be the white game. Yeah. Never allow yourself to start second in your mind. Yeah. There is no one else plays white in my mind but me. The only white there is in my mind is me, you know. Yeah. No one else is doing white in my head. Out here I can play black, I can play white, whatever, but in my head I'm always playing white. I'm always starting fast. I'm always governing that. I'm always dominating my mind. No one plays white in there. The Almighty tells you in Leviticus, never allow yourself to be a medium to familiar spirits. That means never play black in your mind. You must always play white in there. Yeah. The analogy is a bit confusing. So, and it says to you, if you allow yourself to play black in your mind, you'll be put to death and your blood will be on your own head. It's in Leviticus, it's not me. It's not a man who's gonna kill you, it's the Almighty. Imagine being killed by the Almighty. That's permanent death. You know? That's eternal death. Yeah, so I'll never allow anybody to play white in my head. As long as you are playing white in your head and no one else plays that, that's that's survival right there. That's eternal life. Yeah. The only entity that will play white in your head is the Almighty Himself, and is colorless. How do you become a colorless? How do you develop a colorless game? A colorless approach to life? Yeah. I mean, if you merge white and black, you get gray. So gray is a color. So it's not about combining black and white to get colorless situation. Yeah. The only time you get a colorless situation in nature is through glass, through water. No, yeah, through glass like windows or water, where nothing reflects back at you. Yeah, everything, all the light goes through. Yeah, this object, and nothing reflects back at you. Yeah. So to achieve a colorless mind, you have to approach it in that way. Yeah. So I'm still working on obviously getting to a colorless, to supreme colorless state of being. Yeah. where I'm doing what the Almighty wants. So in terms of how your mind is, yeah, you can't be someone that reflects color. Mm? You have to appear to be white, to be colorless to people. How do you do that without becoming visible? I'll leave you with that thought.